Welcome to the House that Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday wherever you guys are at. Before we go any further, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, don't let it be your last time in here. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport of NFL Network has confirmed that the Raiders are hiring former Chargers general manager Tom Telesco. Tom Telesco has been in the league for over 20 years with a lot of experience, recently with the Chargers for the last 10 years, up until the beating that we gave the Chargers at home 63-21 back in December. So as an executive, he served as an intern for the Buffalo Bills while he was at John Carroll College from 91 to 94. He was a scouting assistant with the Panthers from 95 to 96, an area scout for the Panthers in 97. The Colts from 98 to 2000, he was an area scout, a pro scout for the Colts from 2001 to 2003. He was director of pro scouting from 2004 to 2005, was a director of player personnel from 2006 to 2011, then was the vice president of football operations in 2012, and again from 2013 to 2023 served as a general manager for the San Diego and Los Angeles Chargers. Record-wise, while he was with the Chargers, the team compiled a record of 79-83 and a playoff record of 2-3. He's brought in a lot of talent. I'm not going to go through these names. I do have somebody that we are going to have on momentarily to discuss this, somebody that has the prior knowledge of Tom Telesco being with the Chargers, and that will happen momentarily. Let me see where we are in the chat, because I know a lot of you guys are feeling some type of way about it. I had my thoughts when I first heard the news and kind of just pumped my brakes a little bit. You have to take into consideration, is Champ still going to be here at the capacity of an assistant GM? Is he going to go elsewhere? If he in fact takes a GM job somewhere else, we get the next 2 third-round picks over the next 2 years from whatever team it is he goes to, and that could help us in regards to trying to move up in the draft and having some capital and some leverage to use and trying to trade up for somebody of the likes of maybe Jaden Daniels. Let me just do a quick roll call with everybody in here. Martin, Demokes, Bourbon, Dominique 5, Trey B, True Raider, Primos, Raider Rich, Isaac, Trey B, Uncharted, Tim Chubb, Dyson, Leaky, Black Tide, Pablo. It's already flooding in here. Mex Raider, Vincente, Bourbon, my brother, Troy, should have been Ed Dobbs. I know. Gary Green, the only OG. Champ is still under contract, but we could get those picks. If he, in fact, goes somewhere else, yes, that could happen. We'll see, though. Raider Jimmy, what's good to Chargers? Had so much success in the last 10. Yeah. Well, you just heard me speak the record. Well below 500. And again, 2-3 playoff record. Shout out to the president of the Jersey Shore Raider Booster Club, Terry. Raiderzilla was good. What up, Mang? He has built a legit roster. They just didn't have coaching. Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that. They didn't have coaching, but also those guys can never stay healthy for a full season. And that's the thing. It's like, maybe he does have a good eye, but a lot of these guys he's had over there, they're broken toys. That's the best way of putting it. They were broken toys. I was surprised that the Chargers let him go because he definitely drafted well and brought talent to the Chargers. All right, so let me make this quick phone call, and I guess I'm going to have to put the headphones on as well when I do this. And you guys will see who the guest, well, you'll hear who the guest is, but I will put it on screen of who it is as well. So give me 2 seconds, guys, and let's get this going. Hope he's there. I think he's not. Fuck. See, this is why this shit never works the way I want it to work. Hold up. I don't think this is connected like it should be for some strange ass reason. Let's do it this way instead. Hold that thought, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go. Same as last time. I rushed here to do this and pretty much doing this on the fly. We do have another live at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time with the GOAT from IG, but let's see if this is going to work now. Let me know if you can hear the audio, guys. Yo. Hold on. Nation, give me a thumbs up that you can hear. Say something, bro.
Can you hear me, guys?
See if this works. Thumbs up. All right, so we're good.
Thumbs up, everybody.
All right, so guys, you might know him, or at least those that have been following me for a long time, but we have Jake Silva, formerly of the Snake Sports Talk Show, now part of Chargers Syndicate. Look, plenty of experience with the Chargers, knows them like the back of his hand. We had a small conversation on the phone before we got on, but let's please get the nation away from the cliff and please tell them why Tom Telesco is a good fit as a new GM for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, first and foremost, I appreciate you calling me on, and shout out to Raider News today, and shout out to Raider Nation and the Black Hole as well. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Even though we may be frenemies, but at the same time, it's all about producing great content. So, all right, so this Tom Telesco news, and the one thing that I want to say to all of Raider Nation is take a deep breath on the hiring as him being a GM. Let's take away the fact that he was a former Chargers general manager, and let's stick to what his successes and what he has done right in his tenure since he's been a Chargers GM. So as you may recall, being a Chargers general manager from 2013 all the way to 2023, Tom has had a track record where he was very innovative, and he was also somebody that was open to the idea of basically working on the right side of the ball. As you all know, that the league has been transitioning into an offensive-centric league. So you get the best weapons, you get the great quarterback, and you basically give him all of the supports that he needs from the offensive line. It's what Tom Telesco has basically done from the last few years. And he's responsible for a lot of great names. He was responsible for Keenan Allen, and he had a rookie of the year season. He's responsible for Joey Bosa, and somebody who's been an offensive disruptor from his early years with the Chargers until right now he's been injury prone. So the fact of the matter is I know what a lot of people are thinking. Well, what about the Mike Williams draft pick? Well, yes, he has been injury prone, but he still has been shown to be a deep ball threat for his height and for his route running. But the other thing is, too, look at some of the positives recently. He had drafted Rashawn Slater in the first round, and turned out he was one of the best solid left tackles in that draft class that allowed zero pressures for Justin Herbert and was able to make the pocket comfortable for him to make accurate throws. The other thing that he also done, in which we were at the draft party for, was when they drafted Zion Johnson out of Boston College. And the thing is that he is a solid interior guard, but he's also part of an elite group to where it was able to be a solid offensive line for the Chargers. The unfortunate part is injuries were in fact a struggle, but he's so smart at basically finding the right player personnel, the guys that basically fit the schematics into what a team is trying to shoot for. So for the Chargers, they had a history of great quarterbacks that trailed from Phillip Rivers to right now Justin Herbert, and they've also been able to draft really good wide receiver production and also real good running backs and offensive line. So there has been a record of that where Tom Telesco has found his hidden gem talents, whether it was in the first rounds or maybe somewhere between the second, third, and possibly fourth rounds. So Telesco coming into the Raiders, in my opinion, and this is basically helping out the offensive side of the ball, because now retaining Antonio Pierce as the head coach of this team, what is he? He's a defensive-minded coach, but not only that, he's a players type coach. So that allows Telesco to basically work on the offense to where the offense can start to produce points, at least more than 25 a game. And that also allows to get more and more depth in the defense and guys that are going to be willing to be playmakers on the right sides of the ball, whether it's Antonio Pierce showing them how to be defensive, or it's on the offense, to even letting guys like Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and many, many others produce the way that they should, and getting a protective offensive line for potentially whoever the next quarterback may come in this franchise.
Do you think that this is going to be a top priority now with Telesco being more geared toward the offense? That first priority is going to be drafting a quarterback, and do you think that they will make the right decision and try to find a way to move up for one of these top quarterbacks coming out of this draft class?
So I think that is the narrative, right? And that is kind of the direction that Tom Telesco has been moving forward with in the last 4 or 5 years, is because now that the league has changed, you need a star quarterback in this league. You also need a strong offensive line to protect your possible franchise quarterback. And that being said, is one of the reasons why, looking at Justin Herbert and the way that he's produced and what he looked like at Oregon, not a lot of people had faith in Justin Herbert at the time. But once he broke out in his rookie season, he served himself to be a tremendous franchise quarterback. So looking at the draft class with Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, and multiple other quarterbacks, I think you could make a case for that Telesco really wants to be right up at the top tiers to where he can get his next successor at quarterback. And doing that, not only is it just he's getting that type of player, but he's also going to serve to give him a supporting cast to ensure that he is going to be a Raider quarterback for the next 10 years. So that's where Telesco in the last 5 years he's leaned towards. And doing so, I think he's going to basically pick up where he left off with that, unfortunately, the Chargers had let him go from. And because of that let go, it wasn't necessarily saying that Telesco wasn't doing his job. The reason that he got let go of that franchise is because they wanted Staley out of the building, but they were also open to giving somebody like Jim Harbaugh more personal say for him so that they can change the culture the way the Chargers want to be. They want to be a winning team. So for Telesco, it wasn't a bad thing that he got fired. It was more of, I did my job. Now I'm going to take my talents elsewhere, and I'm also going to help this franchise to become the next top tier team in the AFC.
Do me a favor, bro. We had this conversation when I was on the drive home, and you mentioned Harbaugh. So do me a favor and let the viewers know. Give them kind of an update. I know we talk Raiders here, but I have somebody that has insight from the Chargers. So let Raider Nation know the current situation as it pertains to Harbaugh and the Chargers.
So this has basically been news that I have been keeping up with since I obviously live here in Mountain Time, but I've been keeping up with this news since 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And basically what we were being told is that the second interview was basically held today. But the conversation of that behind the details for potentially hiring someone like Jim Harbaugh it was going to be put more as a package deal. And the way that they were going to do this was not only was they were going to try to hire Jim Harbaugh, but Harbaugh, like I said, with his personnel say, they were going to try to persuade to then bring aboard defensive coordinator at University of Michigan, Jesse Minter, and also their special teams coach, Jay Harbaugh. Now, the Chargers, of course, they are swinging big because this is more of a culture help. Because in the end, since the move from San Diego to Los Angeles, nobody wanted this team in Los Angeles. And they wanted to be able to build a culture where this team can be taken seriously. Justin Herbert was the start of it. Now hoping that Jim Harbaugh can be that beacon of hope for the Chargers moving forward. But as of right now, they're still kind of going through the interviews. I haven't gotten at least a couple more updates whether or not that this is a signing that is going to happen. But of course, the deal as it stands is they're willing to give him the paycheck of somewhere between 15 to 18 million per year as the head coach potentially. But if that deal gets done, look at the AFC picture. You got Antonio Pierce with the Raiders. You got Sean Payton with Denver and Andy Reid with the Chiefs. The Jim Harbaugh comes up onto the Chargers. We can honestly say this could look like next year will be the toughest division in all of football.
Now, I got a question. Somebody had asked, shout out to Black Tide Raider. In regards to Telesco and his mind when it comes to cap management with the Chargers, and like I said, he was with them for 10 years. And going into this offseason, as it stands right now, we're going to have $55 million in available cap space. If we, in fact, are able to get rid of Hunter Renfro's contract, it'll bump us to about $63 million. How was he when it came to being conscious about cap management and cap space for the Chargers?
So the big thing with the Chargers initially is that about 2-3 years ago, because this was at the time where they were willing to sign guys like Corey Linsley and a whole overhaul of superstar players. He is very smart of that. And of course, going back to his track record from where he previously had gone to school at and being part of player personnel, he has the smarts to where he could basically find talent at exactly the right price to whatever the franchise is willing to spend. But he's also somebody that I would also say is kind of along the lines like the Eagles GM Howie Roseman. He finds really good deals where some teams might not take advantage of. So for instance, think back to when the Chargers acquired Khalil Mack. They acquired him for a couple of draft picks, but at the same time, they also restructured his contract to where it was affordable for the Chargers to basically retain him for those past 2 seasons. He's willing to make a move like that. And what exactly are the Raiders' needs? My thing is, I've looked at the Raiders and I think not only is it the need that you need to find the next franchise quarterback, but you got to keep depth in your offensive line. I could also say they could make a move to maybe potentially get a solid young safety or a corner. But at the same time, here's what's the best break, is that now Antonio Pierce being the head coach, Max Crosby is guaranteeing he'll be a Raider for life. And the only way to do that as well, to supplement that, is you need to give him a young, healthy edge rusher next to him. Because Max Crosby has proven to be that offensive disruptor, but he's also been proven to be the heart and soul of what this Raiders franchise is all about. And think of it this way. Not only was it that Tom Telesco had hired or had basically drafted Quentin Johnston, but that next pick afterward in the second round was Thule. And he clearly was the second best rookie in the draft class this past season, because he's proven that next to Khalil Mack, that he could be a complete offensive disruptor and allow pressures to basically get to the quarterback for the opposing team to basically get off the field, force more 3-and-outs, and allow the Raiders to basically get more possession on the offense for them to score points. So I think Telesco, because he looks at a cap situation and he's not afraid to basically spend money, but he's also not afraid to at least conserve money in the right ways, but also giving the Raiders sweet deals to where they can get the high quality players they want for at least at the affordable price of what the franchise is willing to spend.
I do think that, and this is one guy I've been talking about, there's actually like another 4 of them of free agent defensive tackles that Chris Jones, we already know he's going to be commanding probably near the ballpark of maybe $30 million a year. I've talked about Leonard Williams. I've talked about Christian Wilkins from Miami. And the dude from Miami, not Miami, from Baltimore, I can never remember his I can't pronounce his last name, but that defensive tackle with the M, I just can't say it. I can't pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it. But I think any of those guys, and I would love to have Chris Jones here. We've talked about Johnson, or Jalen Johnson, rather, from Chicago at corner. That dude is another one that could be a force to be reckoned with, and he's a bit of a shutdown, a guy that we would love to have here as well, but it all has to make sense. And like you said, when it comes to Telesco is more of the offensive side, and having a head coach in Antonio Pierce, that dude will make the conscious decisions or suggestions of guys that he wants to add to this defensive group. Now, my next concern is moving forward is Now we have Telesco. Is Patrick Graham still going to be here? Is Patrick Graham going to take that head coaching job in Seattle? And the same, I think somebody in the chat said that Champ is under contract. So I guess unless offered a GM position, Champ is still going to be here. What do you think?
So I think in the end is that now hiring Tom Telesco and what he's basically going to do, like most GMs that first come in to an organization, is he's going to evaluate every single option that is at his table. I think honestly, I'm sure that the organization and I'm sure most of the players will have a voice to basically talking about someone like Graham to basically retain his job, because they know he is basically the closest successor next to Antonio Pierce. Now, the only thing is that I would say is that for Tom Telesco, when it comes to, looking for at least the right spots, and perfect example for this, and this was even coming from the last couple of free agencies. Think about it this way. He had ended up signing a guy like Austin Johnson to at least 2 years. And Johnson had proven to be a running disruptor for the Chargers that definitely came out of the Giants system. Now, looking at some of those tackles that you mentioned, like Chris Jones, Christian Wilkins, and multiple others, I think, to be honest, to this point, because I don't think there's a chance that Chris Jones does land with the Raiders, because Chris Jones is going to probably land somewhere where they're going to want to spend big. And to be honest, that is kind of something, if I'm the Raiders, I'd be pretty skeptical about that. Still keep my options open, but know he's going to be wanting to be somebody that wants to be a big-time player, and that's something the Raiders have to evaluate. But to be honest, if I'm the Raiders, I probably would be leaning a little bit more towards Christian Wilkins, because if you actually think about this, Christian Wilkins is going to be coming off of a system from Vic Fangio in Miami. And not only that, but putting him in a front line that the Raiders had, Christian Wilkins will be that offensive disruptor, and he'll be yet a secondary that Max Crosby has clearly been the primary role. So Wilkins looks to be a really good option. And to be honest, not only the Raiders, but there are a couple of teams that have been eyeballing Jalen Johnson. But the question is does Chicago retain him or not? Because ultimately, if Chicago really wants him, they want to basically pay him at the right price that they want for him. But he's probably going to end up wanting more. And if that's the case, not only the Raiders, but the Chargers and a couple of other teams in the mix have been talking about that. And it's going to be something that we have to keep all full eyes on come the off season. But to your point with Graham is that I'd see him being retained, because Seattle, yes, he had an interview, but I think honestly, for Seattle, they want to go with familiarity. And who's the only person who's basically worked on the defensive side of the ball? Dan Quinn. That's going to be one guy that Seattle's kind of keeping their door open for. But if that be the case, that'd be great news for the Raiders, knowing that Graham will be retained. But that's my opinion up on that side. And coming from for the defensive tackles and what they need, I'd say keep an eye out for Christian Wilkins, because I think that guy is going to look to really prove himself why he wants to be the best player and the best offensive disruptor in the league.
So there's people in the chat right now that are asking in regards to who really controlled that cap with the Chargers, and a lot of people saying it was Spanos. Who was it ultimately that had control of the moves and the cap space of the Chargers over the last couple of years?
So the person who basically controlled the cap space, because it was a double whammy on both Dean Spanos and for Tom Telesco. But this is where I dissected it. When it came to head coaching and when it came to those head coaching searches, that was mostly Dean Spanos, because what has been the narrative for Dean Spanos? He does not want to pay a coach more than $15 million a year. That's thus the reason why that after Marty Schottenheimer and after Norv Turner, they decided they wanted to go with what the NFL was changing into. And that meant go and get the next Sean McVay, go and get the next Kyle Shanahan, go and get the next great coordinator. But look at the results that it basically turned into. Mike McCoy, he didn't work. Anthony Lynn, seemed like things were brewing up, but then in the end, it was a fallout and it didn't work. And then clearly, the last coordinator, the last so-called great coordinator, Brandon Staley, he was obviously off his skis. So by this point, that was mostly all on Spanos when it came to the head coaching hire. But when it came to players, it was mostly Tom Telesco that had full reign and control of that, because he wanted to bring in quality players that fit the schematics and that also basically was at the affordable price that the Chargers could basically spend. Now, if you think about it, he was leaving the Chargers knowing they were $34 million over the cap. So that's why the next GM that comes in, they'll probably had to shed some cap, but they're also going to want to retain two really good players to keep their personnel. But at the same time, if you get a smart GM in that organization that really knows how to work the money and really knows how to get quality players, I mean, you see around in the league and how Howie Roseman deals with a lot of these things when it comes to trying to keep everything within the cap and also trying to get quality players his way, whether it's through free agency or it's in the draft. If you could get a solid draft pick for 3 years on a rookie contract deal before you'd have to pay him the big bucks, that's one of the things that Tom Telesco really, really does help any franchise with. So I think for the Raiders would basically be in really good hands because he'll work the free agent market, but he's also going to pay attention to a lot of player personnel in the NFL draft and really get guys that are younger, possibly up on defense, but get guys who fit the schematic, who fit the Raider way.
So somebody, shout out to 10 Commandments. He said the Chargers tried to load up all or nothing like the Rams. The only problem was Staley. And then I have Jersey Raider, and salute to him on the 499 Super. He asked, why are the Chargers in cap hell? And you just mentioned that they're going to be $40 million over the cap. And you got other people in the chat that are like, we're about to be in cap hell as a result of this. Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, let's kind of change the narrative up on that. I don't necessarily believe that that is a quote-unquote cap hell for the Chargers, let alone be a cap hell potentially for the Raiders. Tom Telesco will figure that way out, and especially with $55 million, there may be some players that might be on the move, but there also may be a chance they go and get quality players. So rest assured that Tom Telesco will basically work his magic to make it affordable for the Raiders and get quality players for them to translate those losses into W's. So what the Chargers are basically dealing with is because Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, these are all guys that are basically within the ranges of over $20 million. And that's why that they basically had been in an all-in situation. But one of the comments was absolutely right, that the fact that Brandon Staley was not the coach. He's clearly not a Sean McVay. That was one of the reasons that it was so troublesome for the Chargers. But the Chargers had the right mindset and the right idea because you wanted to go all in because of Justin Herbert's potential contract situation. So I don't condemn the Chargers for basically doing that, and neither do I condemn Tom Telesco for really going all in. That was all part of the plan for him. But at the same time, you didn't have the right head coach to basically lead the way. So this is why I think it'll be something special for the Raiders, because Antonio Pierce, like DeMeco Ryans with the Houston Texans, he's a players type coach. He's a guy that basically will coach these guys to basically be the best that they possibly can be. And honestly, you win a locker room, you're going to be winning games majority of the time because players are going to love to play for that coach. That's where I think for the Chargers, my personal opinion, if I'm them, I'd be keeping Khalil Mack and Keenan Allen. I was
just about to ask you before I let you go. Do you think with whoever their next GM is, whoever their next head coach is, do you think that the Chargers keep Khalil Mack?
In my personal opinion, that if I'm the Chargers, I would be pushing hard to be keeping Khalil Mack. And I'll tell you why. Because the fact that Khalil Mack this past season that a lot of people who basically thought that he was washed, clearly not. He was the sacks leader in the NFL and clearly proved to everybody that he still has it in the tank. Now, the question is, if the Chargers continue to retain him, the only hope is how much is that is a guarantee? Well, that's where you got to move players. To be honest, I would rather move off Joey Bosa, who's basically injury prone. I'd move off Mike Williams because of the fact that you are trying to push for Quentin Johnson to work. And then I'd be moving off of Michael Davis and a couple players. And I would even be moving off of Derwin James because you're trying to keep within the cap. But at the same time, I want dogs in the building. I want guys that are willing to play, not ones that are basically just going to be sitting on their contracts while they're hurt and they care less about the team. That's where Khalil Mack came in. And to be honest, Khalil Mack is part of the reason that Thule was the second best rookie in the class with the amount of sacks and pressures he got on the quarterback this past season. That's why I would want them to retain Khalil Mack, because his mentality and his offensive disruptive personality is exactly what you want your young guys to learn from. That is a guy that's a mentor on that defensive side. You keep him, the defense will be playing long and hard for them and to basically give them exactly the offensive disruptions they need. But also, too, keeping Keenan Allen is because that is a guy who is wanting to be a Charger for life, and you got to make it up to him. And the best part of it is you don't want to break up that relationship between him and Justin Herbert. They had clearly clicked. He loves playing for Justin, but at the same time, Justin Herbert, you can't go wrong with more weapons. And so that's where I think the Chargers, those are my two options from there. But at the same time, I'm also looking at it that if Jim Harbaugh is hired, he's going to bring in some Michigan guys. And to be honest, if Austin Eckler is gone, I would be striving hard to going and getting not only Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia, which they need another great one since Antonio Gates, but I would also look to strive to get possibly Blake Corum, the running back for Michigan, because he clearly runs the best way that he can. And at the same time, he knows Harbaugh. And Harbaugh loves his personality, loves his grit mentality, and believes that he is a guy that is going to be the missing link and the juice that the Chargers need moving forward.
Jake, always a pleasure, man, and definitely appreciate your insight on everything that's been going on within this last hour, hour and a half. And you and I will definitely be talking off the air very, very soon. Much love, bro. I'll definitely talk to you soon.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Take care.
Take care.
All right. Guys, Jake the Snake Silva, formerly of the Snake Sports Talk Show, now Charger Syndicate. Appreciate him calling in and giving us his take on everything. Let me close this. There we go. I appreciate y'all, man. I really appreciate each and every single one of y'all in here. We have almost 600 in the chat on YouTube. If you guys haven't already, and you guys see in the top right, we're on that road to 8K. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house of Hammer built by the nation for the nation, Raider Nation News Today. We're not going anywhere yet. I'm checking you guys out in the chat, pause if necessary. I just want to see what your guys' thoughts are. And you know what? 600 in the chat, only 130 like. Yeah, that kind of hurts, man. That kind of hurts my feelings. Kind of hurts my soul. Great insight and great interview. Great. I appreciate you guys. We will be back on live tonight. I'm not leaving right this second, but we will be back live in about 2.5 hours. I will have the GOAT 209 from IG, a little vault talk, and we'll talk more about this. We'll talk about the recent hiring of Antonio Pierce, what's next for us in regards to the offensive coordinator search. For those that didn't see, we had a couple of guys that we still have on our radar. Luke Getsy, who's the recently departed offensive coordinator for Chicago Bears, Cliff Kingsbury, and Sean Waldron, who just signed as offensive coordinator to the Chicago Bears. So it's going to be a lot to talk about tonight as well. Hammer, have you heard anything about Brave? There you go. I just said the 3 names, and now it's, as of right now, it's down to 2. But there's also reports of a Bengals is a Bengals quarterback coach that apparently might be a candidate for the offensive coordinator position as well. He played under Marvin Lewis ages ago, so I don't know. We shall see. Yo, I changed my name, so DC Raider Rich. There you go. Appreciate y'all. Good content. Shout out to Raider Kev. Let me fix this real quick because this is now way too high on the screen for me. Let's adjust that. I think it's good. Like right. Let's put it right there, I guess. I don't know. I don't care. Great interview and updates. Appreciate you. I thank you guys, man. Like, we've been on a tear. We have literally been on a tear the last couple of weeks. Your guys' support, the shorts, the lives, the little quick hit I did yesterday. A lot of you guys have been really tuned in to everything I've been doing recently, and I really appreciate it. And I just want to see this to continue to go up. Like I said, we're on that road to 8K, and that number has a huge significance for me. So I want to get there, and of course, we want to get to 10K and beyond as well. So tell the rest of the nation, man, if they haven't watched me yet, I don't know what they're doing, but pull on up, man. Any word on DOS? I heard you're talking about Dodds. I haven't heard anything about that yet, and that's the thing that I was talking about before. Like we talked about Dodds. I put that in the short earlier. Dodds and Champ were the guys that were on our high list of priority. Champ is still under contract right now. Dodds, you just heard what Jake said in regards to Harbaugh. Like, who's to say that Dodds isn't going to LA with him? But I haven't heard anything else. I haven't heard anything else yet. Very much enjoy your output. I appreciate you, Martin. Thank you. My neighbor from across the pond. Appreciate you, my guy. I feel better about it after hearing. And you know what's funny, Jersey? He kind of talked me off of the cliff. I was driving home. I was like, I got to call Jake and really kind of get an idea. And I was like, dude, you have to come on a show and get the rest of the nation to not want to jump off the cliff either. Like, I was definitely very, very apprehensive when I first heard the news, and like Graph hits me up and I was like, dude, I'm going to go throw up right now, but I feel a little bit better now. I think Jake was the Tums or the Pepto-Bismol that we all needed to just kind of just ease and RELAX just a little bit. But again, this is a guy, from what Jake is telling us, is more geared towards the offense. And of course, we got AP, who's a defensive-minded head coach. Like, if he needs those guys and wants those guys in free agency or on the draft on defense, then have that conversation. If there's guys on offense that you know are going to change this around for us for the better, if there's a way that you can find some type of draft capital we can use moving forward to move up in the draft, then do it. Let's get the quarterback of the future. Like Jake said, we're going to need that quarterback of the future for the next 10 years. Let's get a mobile quarterback. Let's get a guy that can do it all. Let's get a Jaden Daniels. Let's get a Michael Penix. Let's see what happens. Shout out to DeMarcus Webb on the $4.99 super. Much love to you, bro. Appreciate you. Bo Nix confirmed. Bo Nix is another guy that I've talked about. And like I said, I didn't get the opportunity to really watch him that much this season at Oregon, but I had mentioned him last year, and he is another guy that I definitely have respect for, another guy that I would love to have here as a quarterback if the opportunity presented itself. Shout out to Calvin Philmon. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. We are at 7628. We definitely jumped this. I think almost 20 new subs since we started this, and we've been on for about 40 minutes already. Well, I'm debating right now. Shout out to Skylar Cisco. Welcome to the vault. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Should I open the vault line for you guys? Thumbs up, thumbs down. But look, if you guys call in quick and to the point, like 2 minutes at the most, and if I hang up on you, don't take it personally, but I want to have like a quick conversation and hear from several of you guys. So do you want the vault line open? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. All right, let's see. Let's get this going real quick, guys. I see 2 thumbs. I see 3 thumbs. Excuse me, guys. Okay, we got the thumbs. We got a lot of thumbs now. I got to see if I remember how to do this. It's been a minute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. I think this is how it's supposed to work. Let's see. I'll try to highlight it on the screen if it pops up. If not, I'll put the number up there. Shout out to Robert Tunley. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. I don't know why this is not coming up. This is like really dragging right now. All right. I'll just put it on the chat for you guys. Hold up. Sorry for the dead air. And again, keep it simple, keep it quick. I'm not going through debates. We're not doing that. Vault line, guys, if you want to call on in and sound off right now, the new hire of our GM, Tom Telesco, there's a number on the screen, 347-471-0361. Call into the SeatGeek Vault line. You guys trying to go to your next concert, your next sporting event, download the SeatGeek app on the Google Play Store or the Apple iTunes Store. Use promo code HammersHouse for $20 off your first purchase. Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Hammer? My name is Roy. I'm calling from Palm Springs, California. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So just want a quick hit on that new hire. I think it's a good thing for us, man. I mean, we've been through so much adversity. Why not give this guy a shot? I mean, with that whole cap hit on the Chargers situation, he's not inheriting something like that with us. So I think it's a good hire, bro.
Like I said, when I first got the news, I was a little sick to my stomach. But after talking to Jake, and Jake has been a diehard Chargers fan since he was a kid, and he covers the Chargers on his YouTube channel, it kind of made me step back from the ledge. And like everything that he brought to the table in that interview just now, definitely, I think it puts the rest of us in this chat a little bit more at ease as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then with that whole Marvin Lewis, and that's a sneaky one right there, bro. I think that's literally going to help us right there.
You know, it's funny. Coughlin is in there too. People haven't really been talking about it very much. Coughlin's in the building. Coughlin's serving as some type of advisor as well. Which, look, you got guys with that experience, years and years and years of experience in the league as coaches and everything. They can definitely help propel AP's coaching career and help propel this team in the right direction moving forward. They have the playoff experience. Coughlin has the Super Bowl wins. I think sky is the limit. I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl right this second, guys, but I think that you have guys in the building now that have legit conscious football decision-making minds that will help propel this team moving forward.
You know, with this whole new regime of all these coaches and stuff, I really think AP is going to turn this thing around with this defense, man. We've improved such drastically within the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 years. I mean, this guy has a good head on his shoulders, and he has the team bought in. It's going to be a great opportunity for this organization to just finally, turn the thing around. Because I mean, we've been through a lot with this whole, guru and with just McDaniels and then, with this whole blowout with Gruden, it sucked. We were on pace, but, I guess shit happens. But, I think we're going to be okay.
I'm gonna be optimistic for the time being, but also at the same time say things are looking up right now. Roy, I definitely appreciate the call. I'm gonna take a couple of others before I wrap this one up. Have a great night, man, and thank you for calling in.
Hey, man, appreciate you taking my call, and this Hammer House and the whole Planet Raiders, and with Doc and everybody, you guys keep grinding, bro. Good job.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
You know what's funny? I wanted to ask him that, Crave. I wanted to ask him that, but again, having the offensive mind and seeing the type of weapon that JJ is, and AP is back. I know AP wants him back. I know JJ wanted him back. I think JJ wants to come back. We'll see. Let's see. Let me put it back up on the screen. For those that didn't see it before, again, let's keep it quick. Let's keep it simple. We do not need to be on the phone for 10 plus minutes. And again, no disrespect, but I want to get this. I want this moving for a little bit longer. I'm not going to stay on very long because we do have another show in about 2 hours and 13 minutes. So, yeah, shout out to Johnny Kicknuts, one of the dopest names in the nation. Salute, bro. Champ is still under contract with us, Joe. He hasn't seemed to take a job as a GM elsewhere. And if he does, look, we get 2 third-round picks over the next 2 years. So, but as of right now, he has not gone anywhere. Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Juju. I'm from California.
What's going on,
Long
bro?
Beach.
Sound off, bro.
I just want to keep this quick, like you said. I think it's a iffy hiring. It threw me off, obviously, like most people, but I feel like the only good part about this is that I feel like he might have sold Mark Davis and everybody on simply finding a way to trade up, to where I've heard some things of like the other two, Ed Dobbs and Champ Kelly, not wanting to trade up and not willing to trade up full on. So that would be my only look at this as a full-on success if that's the case. I don't know.
But again, we still, as of right now, Champ is still in the building in capacity. Again, even if it's as an assistant GM, he's still in the building. So it is what it is with that. Dodds is the one that we're kind of nervous about because from what Jake was saying, there's a chance. I'm still under the belief that Harbaugh is going to go back to Michigan, especially if he could fight the violations and get everything turned around where he's granted immunity and can't be fired by the university or the NCAA. But the way he is sounding, it's like, he's going to LA, but we shall see.
Exactly. Yeah, I just think too, it's crazy because it's like you said, we'll see. But I don't know. It's an up and down thing. I think this season is it. It's either we go into full rebuild because this off season didn't work out like we thought it would,
right?
Or we're right there as contenders from now on. I think this is just showing we're swinging for the fences.
I'm here for it. Like I said, I definitely got talked off of the ledge. So now we have to start looking forward to, the tag period, which is a little under a month away and lasts about 2 weeks. And then around a month from this time, 2 months from this time, the start of the new league year. We'll see what happens. But definitely appreciate the call, bro. Hope you're living it up and soaking in that sun in the LBC. And definitely talk to you soon.
All right. Love your content. All you guys. Respect. All love.
Appreciate you. Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Bruce. I'm from Oregon.
What's going on, man? Sound off.
Listen, bro. I just got off work. I just got home. I just seen your channel rolling. So did we just hire a GM? Is that the big thing here?
Former Chargers GM Tom Telesco.
Okay. And what is your thoughts as knowing a lot about football? What are your thoughts? I do not know too much about the guy. I know that he was with San Diego, but I don't know a lot.
He's definitely, from his resume, he definitely started from the bottom. He was going to John Carroll College in the early 90s, and while he was attending that school, he served as an intern for the Bills, and he's worked his way up throughout various organizations and spent the last 10 years with the Chargers. Again, below 500 record with the Chargers over the 10 years, a playoff record of 2-3 as a GM with them. He's made some pretty solid draft picks and then some that not so much. A couple of decent free agency moves as well. But again, my thing was like the Chargers can never stay healthy. The players can never stay healthy for an entire season, but also that has to do with their conditioning. So I can't just put the blame all on a GM for that. Just had my guy Jake call in about everything because he covers the Chargers. And he said for us, it's going to be just fine. Like we will be fine, especially with the type of moves that he likes to make and the direction that he's more towards of an offensive-minded type of guy. That could pay dividends for us. We can potentially find a way to move up and get our quarterback. We can build up the trenches on the offensive line and bolster that line to protect our quarterback and do a great job of run blocking as well. But we just have to go through these next few months and see what these type of moves are going to be. The only thing that I'm going to say about this is the school that he did go to, and I wasn't too familiar with this school either, but this was actually the same exact college that Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler went to.
Oh my God.
So, seeing that, it kind of makes me, yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'm happy. All right, I'm going to be honest to Raider Nation. Period. To you and anybody that listens. Okay, I like Antonio Pierce. All right, there's a difference. Okay, do I think that this guy deserved a chance for the job? Yes. Do I think it's the right one? Well, I would say no. But then I look at it. Do we want to gut everything if we get somebody else? You get a Harbaugh, you get a Belichick, whatever.
No,
right?
Because you're going to be rebuilding all over again, and nobody, I know everybody that's in this chat, the nearly 600 we have in the chat, do not want to see a rebuild anytime soon.
Oh, this team right here, if we can get a quarterback, and we can, because we got our defense, and I hope we can get Patrick Graham back, but if we can get a quarterback, even just a veteran reliable, but if we can get up in the draft and get a quarterback, I'm all for this. And I'll tell you this, if we can get a couple pieces fixed on the line and maybe another piece on the defense, I don't know what else we need, but I do think that we have a Super Bowl contending defense. Thanks, Hammer.
Appreciate
peace
you.
out. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too. Take care. Man, shout out to Juju. That was a good call. Just wondering your thoughts. Oh, damn it. Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Raiders Primos from California.
What up, Cuzzo? What's good, kid?
What's good? What's good?
Sound off, bro.
Man, just I'm seeing the split between the nation about Telesco, and I'll say this. Last year I said about McDaniels and Ziegler, or 2 years ago when they were hired, is that I'm going to support them until they give me a reason not to. And it took 1 year for all of the nation to unite and want these guys out of here. And I feel the Chargers had the same situation that we had in regards to I didn't believe that Ziegler did a bad job building the roster. The reason why he got fired was the ties that he had to McDaniels. And I feel the Chargers had the same exact issue in regards to Telesco having some part. I'm hearing that he hired the coaches.
Yes.
But then Jake said that Spanos also had a part in the contracts with the coaches.
Yes.
So I felt that's why Telesco got fired. It's not about the talent he's bringing in; it's about the coaches he was hiring.
I could definitely agree with you on that. And it pretty much sounded like when Telesco was gone after that beatdown, that ultimately he died on the sword with that one. He really did. And it is what it is. Like that's the type of shit that happens. At the end of the day, people have to realize, like, this is a business. Like, you just got dog walked, and somebody was gonna have to go, and if not one person, then both people. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and so I think for me, I'm gonna root for Telesco until I get a reason not to, and that's all I really have to say. Like, Raider Nation, like we haven't seen we've seen what he did with the Chargers. We haven't seen what he did with the Raiders. Yep. So we can't really say, is he gonna do good? Is he gonna do bad? We haven't seen what he's going to do. We can have all these, guesses of what free agents he might bring in, what contracts he's going to set up. Hey, I said Raider Nation wants JJ back, right? Hey, that's one guy I think Telesco will be able to bring back.
Yep.
I just hope he doesn't overpay him.
No, because here's the thing, and I said this a couple of weeks ago as it pertains to Josh Jacobs. Look, the running back market value has decreased this year. There's no way. Like, I've said it time and time again, that Christian McCaffrey contract, Christian McCaffrey is the last of the Mohicans. Nobody's getting a contract like that ever again as a running back. He's going to be lucky enough to get something around the ballpark of 10, maybe 10 and a half, but nobody's getting overpaid at the running back position. We know how depreciated the position has been. It ain't going to happen. But I think he'll take I think he'll take the home field discount as well, though.
Yeah, and one last take before I get out of here, because I seen some comments that he's not going to trade up for a quarterback. Champ Kelly would be that guy that does it. I think Telesco would do that. I think Telesco sees what we need, on the offensive side of the ball, and a quarterback is one of those needs.
I think he's going to look at.
least
I
to
think
get
he's
some
going to look at
quarterback
that.
competition.
I don't mean to cut you off. Like, I think he's going to look at that like a quarterback is top priority right now. We need a quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
We need a quarterback for the next 10 years. And no disrespect to Aiden O'Connell, but I even said this when O'Connell was drafted. When he was drafted, I'm sorry, tripping over my words. He was going to be a backup quarterback. And people were like, oh, he's got to go. Da-da-da-da-da. You don't need to let a guy go that was drafted in the 4th round that's only making an average of just a little over $1 million over the next 3 years. Let it rock. Let him be our backup. Unfortunately, we're stuck with Hoyer for another year, too. Let's get our quarterback of the future in this upcoming draft by any means necessary. Primos, I appreciate the call, my brother. I do have to call back somebody right now so we can hear his insight. So nobody else call right now, please. I do have to call someone right back. Primos, we'll talk soon, bro.
All right, talk soon. Have a good day.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess I don't have to call him back because he is called back. Ladies and gentlemen, L.A. Rob.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
All right.
What's up, man?
Let's hear it. And hold on, before I let you go on your rant, shout out to David Zond on the 499. I'm all about this hire. He hit on Herbert. Hopefully he hits on ours. If he can't build the team, then we fire him after we draft a QB. God damn. Rob, floor is yours, bro. Sound off.
All right. No, hold on. All right, y'all motherfuckers need to stop overreacting and crying about us hiring Telesco. I am over it already, looking at our Twitter acting like a bunch of prepubescent females. Seriously. Chill the fuck out. I'm tired of it. Like, literally, we literally got a good GM. Look, people seem to think that, oh, he was with the Chargers. He sucks. So we beat them 63-21. Motherfuckers, he's not a player. He's not a coach. He's a GM. He brought in talent. He's the one that got Derwin James, Herbert, Bosa. This guy is a good GM. We need that. We need to start hitting on our first-round picks. I forgot what that looked like. And from what I heard, Champ wanted to stay with Aiden O'Connell and not trade up for a quarterback. This Diane will. And first of all, we don't know where Dodd's going. I'm pretty sure he's going to go with Harbaugh to the Chargers the way it's looking.
Yeah.
But Champ Kelly is still under contract. What's to say he's not going to be the president of football operations or assistant GM?
Agreed.
People are so quick to jump, like, oh my God, oh, we're screwing up again, oh, Raiders again, and jump off the ship. It's like, relax. Like, if you don't like it, that's fine. But for some reason, people seem to think that because this guy was attached to the Chargers organization, that he's a bad choice. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We got an experienced GM. Yeah, I like Champ Kelly, but there's no. I mean, yeah, he's liked around the league, but who's to say that Telesco isn't? You know, and then everything else. And think about the Spanoses; they like to interfere like Jerry Jones does.
Yep. They like to have that.
So,
they like to have that control, like a couple of other owners of organizations throughout this league. So I get it.
Yeah, like Waster said, let them cook. Let's let them cook.
I gotta get that little audio track from Wasted. Or next time we're live, we're gonna have to play that because I get a kick out of that shit every time he plays it. Shout out to Wasted, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to the old man. Yeah, no, I really think that this is a good move. Because I'm really starting to feel that. Because remember, for his second interview, AP sat in there, and they wanted to see how they meshed. This decision was because he meshed with AP, and he had a plan. He sold something to Mark, and I think I know what it is. He's going to trade. He's going to trade up, and we're going to get Jaden Daniels. I'm calling it now. I feel that this is it.
Please. Not even football gods. John Madden, please make that happen.
And he's going to come down with his turducken and give us that draft pick.
Rob, I appreciate you as always, bro. Make sure to pull up tonight. We're going to have the GOAT 209 back on for a little vault talk, and we're going to dive more into this and talk more about this. Appreciate you, brother.
Brother, you have a good one.
Let me play it one more time before I let you out. Ladies and gentlemen, L.A. Rob.
Yeah.
Talk to you, brother.
I'll let it.
Later. Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Hey, what's up, Raider Hammer? It's old school Raider calling from Lithonia, GA. Your boy, what's up?
I'm telling you now, from now on when you call, I'm going to just call you Pops. What's good?
Call me no Pop. Yeah, rest in peace, John Witherspoon.
That's my guy.
How you doing, man?
Good. Just to the John Witherspoon online.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, like Lance Van told Thomas Bassetti on Grand Theft Auto Vice City, I like your style real fresh.
Sound
What's
off, bro.
up,
Let's see what you got to say real quick, because you're going to be the last call I take. Sound off, bro.
Oh, good. Say the best for last, like Vanessa Williams.
Hey.
First of all, I think we made a good decision by bringing Tom Telesco in because I think he's a really good general manager, and we should give this general manager a chance. And you even got his foot through the door yet, and everybody's saying he don't belong here, but I think that's total BS. And second, I want to say this. My opinion, we should have let Josh Jacobs go. Because he's giving the running back, the running backs, they how to run real successful. He giving them terminal cancer, and I'm glad we got AP back. Raiders, go Raiders. And one thing I want to ask you: why did we get rid of Jack Del Rio? I never could understand it. Could you answer that for me?
That's the answer to that is the equivalent to how many licks does it take to get the center of a Tootsie Pop. The world may never know.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna leave it at that. The world may never know.
Yes, and last but not least, my loyalty to the Raiders runs deeper than a prostitute's vagina.
God damn! All right, I'm done. OG, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Talk to you soon.
All right, later, man.
All right, let me shut this down before anybody else tries. There we go. It's over. It's over. We're closed. We're closed for business, y'all. The positivist T must have a lot of the draft intel and scouting done already. It's funny. Play our team 2 times a year. You've seen our team 20 times in the last 10 years. You're going to be the one right now that's going to see the holes and see how to fill those holes as well. So, again, I'm here for it now, man. Like I said, I was very optimistic. I was very, very nervous. God damn it. I put it on Do Not Disturb, bro. And y'all are still going. And I don't have anything yet. Good. Shout out to Space Beast. Can 3 firsts get I don't want to trade 3 firsts. That may set us back. And that's what I'm nervous about. We have plenty of time to figure this stuff out. You're going to see me here during the offseason. Just because it's the offseason for us doesn't mean it's the offseason here at Raider Nation News Today. I will keep you guys up to date with whatever news breaks, whenever it breaks. Look, I got the notifications and people messaging me about Telesco. I threw a quick 30-second short out for you guys to keep you guys in the loop. And here I am. The second I got out of work, I flew here, and this is where we're at right now. Shout out to Space Beast on that 199, though. Do you think Kingsbury is still... Yes, Kingsbury is still in play. I mentioned that yesterday, Raider Rich. He is still in play alongside Luke Getsy. And then there was another guy that was mentioned earlier today. I can't remember his name right now. I might have to try to look this up very quickly. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, my God. I'm trying to see. I'm not seeing it now because everybody has Telesco up all over the place. Yeah, I don't see it. And I can't remember this guy's name for the life of me right now, and I apologize for that. But it was a guy I believe that had ties with the Bengals and Marvin Lewis. I think he was like a backup quarterback when Marvin Lewis was in Cincy, but I don't seem to see it right now, and I don't want to keep digging and searching. It is what it is. But let me get this chat back up for you guys. I apologize. Look, I took it off of Do Not Disturb. Did I not? I turned Do Not Disturb off. Like, I should put it back on because I did want to wrap up. I'm going to be back on in another few hours. Less than 2 now. an hour and 54 minutes to be exact. Shout out to Torian Brown. Shout out to V Mozeki. I think Mozeki. I think I said it right. Salute to you guys on becoming new subscribers. Again, we have jumped tremendously from the start of this live. I actually think we just went up. I suck at math. Don't judge me. 46 new subs on this live alone, and we have over 500 people in here. Guys, if you haven't already, just follow these 3 easy steps. We're on that road to 8K. You guys see at the top of the screen, 7657. Break them thumbs. Hammer that sub. Smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. In the house at Hammer Built, by the nation, for the nation, Raider Nation News Today. I am going to wrap it up for now, guys. I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart, y'all. Thank you for all the new subscribers. 6'9 Galaxy Guy, welcome. Uziel Mendoza, Nada, Matt Butler. Y'all, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. We will be back 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We will have the GOAT 209, the famous IG guy, huge super fan. He will be in the vault. We're going to do a little vault talk. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from him, hearing his thoughts on this hiring. Again, for those that are coming in late, the Raiders have signed former Chargers GM Tom Telesco as our new general manager. I see a lot of other people are coming on in right now. A lot of people are subscribing. But guys, pull on up tonight. You will not want to miss it. How do we end this normally? I'm trying to think, because this has just been amazing. It's been a while since we've had it like this. Oh yeah. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID is back and on the rise. Remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. And of course, on my New York shit, peace, love, and positivity. I'm outro. See you guys in a little bit.